All right, Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakha, Kodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wa Barakatham, to the elect of the nation of Israel, and my Hebrew name is Rakamayam, back at you with another video and lesson. And in this lesson, I want to go into some history concerning Petra, or Mount Seir, or Petra, which, I'm going to get into. All right, I'm going to go into Petra, but I also want to go into play a video, this video right here, concerning Petra, Edom, and Obadiah, or the Edomites. And, And the reason why I want to go into this video is because you have this new flavor of the week called, this guy called Desmond Ingram, which he's an Israelite. Then again, he might be a tear. And he's trying to defend Esau, Edom, and he's trying to say that the Edomites can be saved. And he went into Genesis chapter 33, the account where when Jacob and Esau met for the first time since Jacob had fled to Padan Aram from the presence of his brother Esau. Okay, you can read about that in Genesis 27 and Genesis chapter 27. So Esau got mad because he was supplanted for his birthright and the blessing, which really belonged to us, even before this whole thing went down. So anyway, so Esau got mad and he's like, now will I slay my brother Jacob? Now will I slay my brother Jacob? Okay, and you Edomite, and the Edomites, for those that don't know, for you new listeners, Esau goes back to the so-called white man. All you got to do is read Genesis 25, Genesis 27, Genesis 36, right, in various chapters, and, they go back to the so-called white man, right? And you can easily, while you're reading, you can easily identify who this devil is. Okay, but anyway, Esau is the so-called white man today. Though those are your rulers. And, right, and I want to go and just mention that, right, nowhere in history did the Most High forgive Edomites. The Most High doesn't change his mind. If he says he will not acquit the wicked, that means just that. He will not acquit the wicked, meaning you will not be found innocent for the crimes that you have committed. It doesn't matter if it was 2,000 years ago, during the time of the Babylonian Empire. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's during the time of the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. It doesn't matter. Esau cannot be delivered. He cannot be saved. Salvation is not for all nations. It's only for you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right? And the account in Genesis 33, which Desmond Ingram didn't explain the whole account. Okay, you got to go back to Genesis 32, when Jacob was afraid for his life. He feared for his life. Okay, but go into that chapter, right? He was smoozing with the enemy when they met up. Okay, that's why he split the family. Okay, you go this way, okay, and let them go that way. At least somebody going to escape from this damn devil. Esau is a natural-born murderer. That's his nature. So anyway, right, so you go into the history, like, for example, I want to also bring this out. The story of Amaziah, right? The story of Amaziah. If the Most High loved Edomites so much, why did he command Amaziah to do this? Okay, and you can read Romans 9 and 13. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. That word hate doesn't mean to love less in that context. It means literally to hate. Okay? You got people trying to defend Esau and the Edomites. They cannot be delivered. So who is the Lord going to have judgment on when he returns? Who is the Lord going to judge? If the Edomites if the Edomites are the ones ruling this current world, who is the Lord going to judge? Yahweh Shai going to judge when he comes back? Okay, that's the question for you Karath Israel dudes. Brothers should know who they are. They're two bugged out loonies that believe that Esau could be saved. Right? And this Desmond Ingram dude, he's set up. Okay? He's set up. Vocab Malone, he's definitely set up. We already know about his status. He's set up. Okay, this is 2 Chronicles chapter 25. So you Edomites cannot be saved. You other nations cannot be saved. This thing is only for the Israelites, okay? When I say Israelites, I'm talking about Hebrew Israelites. I'm not talking about black Hebrew Israelites. I'm talking about Hebrew Israelites, right? Those that go back to the forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the rest of our forefathers. But I'm going to start in verse 11. Okay, I'm just grabbing an account with Amaziah. I just wanted to bring this out, right? And this is going to happen in the kingdom. Right, 2 Chronicles chapter 25 and verse 11. Yeah, it did happen during the time of Amaziah, King Amaziah, which he was he was a rebellious dude. You know, he was taking out Edomites, but then again, he was worshiping their gods. That's a double-minded man. But 2 Chronicles chapter 25 and verse 11. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt and smote of the children of Seir 10,000. So he smote the children of Seir. Who are the children of Seir? Okay, Esau, Edomites. Verse 11 in the NLT version. Then Amaziah summoned his courage and led his army to the valley of Salt, which is around where Esau dwelt at. The valley of Salt, where they killed 10,000 Edomite troops from Seir. So if the Most High loves Esau so much, why the hell did he command Amaziah to do this? And this account happened way after the account in Genesis 33. Okay, the Lord said he would have indignation and war with Esau, with Amalek, which are the Edomites, from generation to generation. Meaning he's not going to stop just, I'm just going to start loving them. Oh, I love you now. I don't hate you no more. The Most High doesn't change his mind. Malachi 3 and 6. The Lord is not going to change his mind and just forget the fact that Esau has done some real cruel things to you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. He's not going to forget that. Okay? And other 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive. So another 10,000. And brought them unto the top of the rock and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they all were broken in pieces. So yeah, they threw them off Judah, okay? All right, and the Israelites, we threw off Edomites off the top of the rock. In that region where they dwelt, which was a mountainous range, right? Which was a mountainous range. Okay, but yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out on that. But verse 14, it says that Amaziah was brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods. So he's going off and bowed down himself before them and burnt incense unto them. But anyway, let's go into, before I play that video, what can I grab? All right, let's go in a little bit into Petra. Let me show you some images here. All right, Petra. Until this day, there's it's a huge tourist attraction. Petra is a huge tourist attraction. All right, look at that. Looks like the Roman pillars. The Nabateans built some of this, though. The Nabatean Arabs. But Esau dwelt here. He dwelt in these caves. This is just showing this part of Petra. Hold on. It's all mountains. It's all mountains. Look at this. That guy's an Edomite. He's looking at his own homeland. That's the original home of Esau, Edom. Mount Seir, Petra. This is their original home. Okay, let's see if I can find some more pictures. Here you go. Caves. Holes in a rock. Didn't Obadiah? Let's grab that. Let's grab that precept. Obadiah is a one-chapter book, but the prophecy in Obadiah stands. Okay, this is going to happen to Esau after he serves 1,000 years of hardcore bondage. Then he's not going to exist. All right. No more, right? You can read about that in what? I'll read it. Obadiah 1 and 18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau, which are the Edomites. It's not talking about one man, Esau. Esau means, okay, his whole all his descendants, for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Right? Esau, when Most High says, Esau have I hated, it's talking about the whole nation, the Edomites. All right? And you can prove that with Malachi 1. They shall build. Esau, they shall build, but I will throw down. Meaning who? The Edomites. Just like Jacob is just not one man. He represents the whole nation of Israel. But anyway, Obadiah 1 and verse, I'll start from verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. That word small means insignificant, meaning less than nothing. Just like you nations, you're spittle to the Most High. Pew! You ain't gonna regard no damn spittle. Thou art greatly despised. Yeah, all nations hate you, Edomites, because look what you do to all nations. Look what you do. You conquer them by rape, by violence, rape, murder, treachery, deceit. Nobody wants you in their homeland. Nobody wants you in the east. Right? Because Esau got military bases all over the east. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. I'm talking about the eastern hemisphere. That's what I mean by east. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, right? Because these devils are real fucking proud. They believe they cannot be taken down. They believe they're going to rule forever. Psalm 49 and 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay? Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Now, Obadiah was referring to them dwelling in Petra and Seir, but this is also referring to them dwelling in these buildings, these high buildings, like these skyscrapers. Okay, it's also referring to them having referring to the times we are living in now. That's what it's talking about. Okay. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Because Esau is proud. Who the hell is going to bring me down? That's what they think. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. That's why Obadiah said this, as the eagle. What nation is represented by an eagle? America. What ancient nation was represent? Well, the Edomites, okay, represented by an eagle, America. Back then, the Romans were represented by an eagle. The Greek Edomites were represented by an eagle. Okay, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. Now this is talking about their satellites. This didn't happen back then because that technology didn't exist back then. Set thy nest among the stars, meaning that satellite. Okay, meaning those satellites, those space stations. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So Obadiah not only is referring to you Edomites back then in Petra or Mount Seir, in those mountains, but he's also referring to you now. Okay, now Obadiah could clearly break this down and say, okay, now the eagle represents America. The stars, the nest among the stars represent their satellites. Now Obadiah is expounding on the book that he wrote. You know, that's crazy, but it's a man, we bringing this information out, and you Edomites are going down, right? No other nation. I believe when the Most High started bringing these Edomites down, that was like around this the late 60s when Abba Bivens came on the scene, of course, but it happened during the late 60s with something called the Apollo, which Apollo means destroyer, something called the Apollo. Okay, they started putting those satellites up there. I know Russia, even prior to that, put something called the Sputnik up there. But it really started when these Edomites over here started putting their satellites. Okay, because this America is the greatest nation. Okay, is the greatest country as well, as they claim. It ain't going to be great when the Most High is done with it. But it says here, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And there you go. There you go. So I wanted to bring that out. Okay, let's go into, read a little bit of Petra. Oh, okay. Let's go into Petra. It says here, Petra, which Petra means rock, or pedra. Okay, it says Nabatean, originally known to its inhabitants as Rakmu and Rake, is a historic and archaeological city in southern Jordan. So Petra is in Jordan. That's where Esau dwelt. It is adjacent to the mountain of Jabal al-Madba in a basin surrounded by mountains forming the eastern flank of the Araba Valley, running from the Dead Sea to the Gulf of Aqaba. Right, around that area, the Dead Sea, the Valley of Salt. The area around Petra has been inhabited from as early as 7000 BC. I don't think that's correct, but I could recheck. This, I don't think that don't sit right with me right here. And the Nabateans might have settled in what would become the capital city of their kingdom as early as the 4th century BC. Now, that's correct. Around that time, 500 and something BC, 4 something BC, because around the Babylonian, the Nabateans, right, that's correct. Archaeological work has only discovered evidence of Nabatean presence dating back to the 2nd century BC, by which time Petra had become their capital. The Nabateans were nomadic Arabs who invested in Petra's proximity to the incense trade routes by establishing it as a major regional trading hub. So the Nabateans were Arabs, or they go back to like the Ishmaelites. So you had like the Midianites, but they were an Arabian tribe, right? Incense trade routes until this day, right? And that proves that these Arabs are merchant men. They deal with like the incense, they deal with like the oils, the fragrances, right? Till this day. But the Nabateans had ran Esau out of there at one time. Actually, I want to go into the history right here. Hold on. Let's go into the Iron Age Edom. This is what I want. The Iron Age lasted between 1200 and 600 BC. In that time, the Petra area was occupied by Edomites. See, so it was occupied by Edomites at this time. This came when the Edomites rebelled after the death of King Solomon in 928 BC, when Israel, Yasharallah, split into two kingdoms for Israel to be in the north and Judah in the south. The Edomites, right, because Esau and the Edomites were underneath Judah. Right? The Edomites were known as descendants of Esau. They were underneath the tribe of Judah, right? And the Edomites were known as descendants of Esau. All you got to do is go back to Genesis 36. And this was referenced in the Old Testament of the Bible. The configuration of mountains in Petra allowed for a reservoir of water for the Edomites. This made Petra a stopping ground for merchants, making it an outstanding area for trade. Things that were traded here included wines, oil, olive oil, and wood. Initially, the Edomites were accompanied by nomads who eventually left, but the Edomites stayed and made their mark on Petra before the emergence of the Nabateans. They were then engaged in battle with King Amaziah, which I read to you in 2 Chronicles, the 25th chapter, of Judah, and chased back into their own lands. It is said that 10,000 men were thrown off the mountain El Biyara. This story has been debated by scholars. Of course, they're going to debate it. Maybe that didn't happen. This didn't happen. It happened. Because a lot of these scholars, you got to understand that they're Edomites. Okay, they know what happened to their people. They know about the history of Amaziah. They know that. So, of course, they're not going to try to, agree. They're not going to agree with it. They're going to be like, nah, this ain't happened to my people. I don't believe that story. But they know what happened. All right. The Edomite site excavated at the top. Okay, boom. The Nabateans were one among several nomadic Bedouin tribes that roamed the Arabian desert and moved with their herds to wherever they could find pasture and water. Although the Nabateans were initially embedded in Aramaic culture, theories about them having Aramean roots, Well, Ishmael came out of what? Hagar? Right, came out of Hagar, which was one of Abraham's concubines, and also Abraham also had another concubine called Keturah, which the Midianites came out of, the Arabians or Arabian tribes. Arab simply means mixed. The way you say Arab in the Hebrew is Irab, which simply means mixed, because there's so many of those Arabian tribes that dwell in and around the Arabian Peninsula, in that area. Okay? That's why it means mixed, right? Then the Roman period, the Edomites took over. Okay, well, I got to look back at this information, but I know the Edomites had, let me see something, in AD 106, because that was way after Yahushua and John the Revelator. So, because you got to remember too, Israelites started taking seat in the Roman Empire early. But when Cornelius Palmer was governor of Syria, the part of, I don't want to go off here, of Arabia under the rule of Petra was absorbed into the Roman Empire as part of Arabia Petraea, and Petra became its capital. Okay, so I got to go into a little bit of that history, which is, you don't really got to bring that out. Okay, let's play this video now. And actually, hold on. Susa, I don't want no Susa. Hold on. Let me go back here. Map. Where you at? Maps. Map. Belfast. Alright, anyway. Actually, I'll grab this one. Well, right here. That's where they're sowing Petra. Which it's right. That's where they're sowing Petra. It's around there. And Basra was like north of it. I believe Basra was north. And I believe this is the Dead Sea. This body of water here. Alright, anyway, let's play this video. Now, what I'm about to play to you is an Edomite speaking about his own people. He's not even aware of it.
So I'm here in Petra, which is part of the land of the biblical Edom.
See all those caves, those cavities in the rocks?
Right, the sons of Esau. And if you remember Esau.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Esau's original home is Mount Seir. Okay, not the Caucasus Mountains, which they were pushed into the Caucasus Mountains during the time of the Dark Ages by the Moors. All right, everybody like pushed these Edomites into the mountains. All right, that's where the Little Hats emerged from. They emerged from that area of Eastern Europe, or Georgia, Russia, or the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea. But they were pushed into the mountains. Caucasian simply means cave dweller. Right? That's why you have that on your job application. It means cave dweller. So easy a caveman could do it, right? Okay, these are the Edomites. This is an Edomite, and he got a red shirt on, which is the spirit.
I was also called Edom.
Not saying because he got the red shirt is wrong. I'm talking about this devil here.
And it means red because he was a redhead. Interestingly, Petra is also full of these beautiful red rock formations. The Nabateans ruled here for hundreds of years, and they built these great big tombs. And it's a beautiful place, amazing to explore. But it just brought a deeper meaning to me to see what this land is like, of when Obadiah is prophesying against the Edomites. Because when Judah went into exile in 586 BC, the Edomites, who were also were sons of Esau, and so related, distantly, but still related to the Jews. They didn't help them. They weren't even grieving for them or with them.
What he's talking about is talking about during the time of the Babylonian Empire, when these Edomites said, raise it means to destroy it. The Edomites helped the Babylonians conquer us. That's what he's talking about. This is way after Genesis 33. Way after Genesis 33. So, Desmond Ingram, what about, could you break down Isaiah 34 and like verse 4 and 5 for us? Basra shall be a desolation. Could you break that down to us? What is that talking about? Okay, what's Basra? Who's Basra? What is it talking about? Break down Isaiah 63. Why don't you break down Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26 and verse 27 for us? He shall rule them with a rod of iron. Why don't you break that down? How about Revelation 12? Break that down for us. Okay, the Most High has indignation with Esau from generation to generation. They're called the people of the Most High's curse. And these people are cursed. Look how this devil looks. They are cursed.
They're actually kind of rejoicing and jeering. And so the book of Obadiah is a prophecy against Edom, saying, because of your pride, because you didn't grieve or help your brothers, because you jeered at them and celebrated them going into exile, you too.
That happened during the time of the Greeks. Man, during the time of the Greeks, the shit that they were doing to our people, right? Antiochus Epiphanes IV, the Edomite. That happened during the time of the Romans, heavy taxation, right? Destroying the temple. Utterly destroying the temple, completely destroying the temple, taking our records. It happened during the time of Haman, during the time of the Persian Empire, around 4-something, 5-something BC.
You will be destroyed, and it talks about how you take comfort in your rocks, in your hiding places in the rocks.
So what? They got those underground bunkers, Amos 9 and 2. The Most High said he's going to send those angels and he's going to snatch Esau out of those underground bunkers. Right? Because they built underground bunkers because they believe after World War III that they're going to come back into power. They're just going to build forever. No, it's not going to happen. We got next. Israelites got next. And
but those aren't
I missed something in this video. I'll run it back.
When the time of destruction comes. And those verses just mean a lot more being here and seeing these rocky area and the places.
It's not talking about that. Okay? It's not talking about that. Right? It's talking about when the Most High completely wipes you out. And that's talking about World War III and when Yahweh Shah returns in those chariots. I missed something here. Hold on.
Nations. The Nabateans ruled here for hundreds of years, and they built these great big tombs. And it's a beautiful place, amazing to cool Edomites, the sons of Esau. And if you remember, Esau was also called Edom, and it means red because he was a redhead.
No. Edom does mean red. Adawam in the Hebrew, which means red. Right? That's the way you say red in the Hebrew. Adawam. Okay? Or Edom. Okay? It means red. But it doesn't mean redhead. It means they came out, the scriptures say in Genesis 25, they came out the womb. Okay? They came out all over like a hairy garment. Meaning they look red. They look like it's disgusting. They lack pigmentation. Like this guy here. I'm not saying it's wrong to wear a red shirt, but this guy completely fits the description of his people.
Interestingly, Petra.
All right, and that's what I wanted to bring out. Right, Petra means rock, and that was a little bit of geography, a little bit of history for you brothers, and Lord willing, you brothers are edified. So with that, shalom.